let's do it. Yeah. And then we grouped up like just 10 people, and then we turn around. There's like maybe
crowd.
The third of the whole event was there, like all around us, and we filmed that ad. Yeah,
that's fire. That's so dope, bro. Eric was in it too, right?
Eric was in it. Me and Greg. Yeah.
So you are connected with Laith too, right?
Yeah.
Bro, because we all met in Miami.
Yeah, that's
Laith, bro. I've known Laith. It's a crazy story with Laith. So I met him at Alphaland 2023. I think 2023 or 2022. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But I had reacted to one of his videos a long time ago, like back in 2021 or something like that.
Okay.
And I didn't really know who he was. I didn't even really know he was Arab. I just like reacted to his video because it was viral. And then he came up to me in Alphaland. Was like, "Hey, my name's Laith. You reacted to one of my videos." I was like, "Wait, what?" And then I looked at him. I was like, "Holy shit! Like, I know you." And so we talked, bro. And me and him are like best friends now.
Yeah.
It's like my best friends.
Where does he live?
He lives in Alabama.
Okay.
I'll tell you, bro. He's driven down to me from Alabama, like a 4 or 5 hour drive. I've gone up to him. We were with each other back in September.
Yeah.
He'll just come down, bro. We'll just hang out. Like one of the best, most down to earth guys I've ever met, bro.
We gotta make something.
Of course, bro. We have to, dog.
But yeah, bro, he's so strong, bro. I was watching him like rep.
Bro. This guy, he had me benching, and I was mid bulk last year when we got really close to him.
Yeah.
And he was like pushing me to bench, I hadn't barbell benched in like a year, pushing me to bench. And then we get to it. He's like, "Bro, just throw 315 on there." I was like, "Bro, I've never touched this. There's no way I could do this, bro." And she's like, no, just try it. So I did it. It was the craziest moment of my life. And then after that, I went on like an addiction, bro, for like 3 weeks straight. Bench. And then I messed up my shoulder. I got to 335 and then I messed up my shoulder. And so I stopped. I stopped since then.
Shoulder, bro. I hate it, bro. There was a gym I used to go to. The bench is like, as soon as a bench is like too small, like not wide enough, bro, don't bench, bro. Don't risk it.
No.
Fucked up my shoulder as well. I actually fucked up my elbow first year of training.
Damn.
Yeah. I was shoulder pressing. I only had I was training in my garage for like my first year. That was like just like a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
And I went from like my dumbbells go from 0 to 50.
Yeah.
And then 50 straight to 80s. My dad used to train with like the 80s. We had them like on the
Mashallah.
side. And I had to do the jump from 52 to 80 to be able to like overload, progressively overload. So I did the jump, fucked up my, like, you can hear it click. I'll put the, hold on.
Oh my God, bro.
So now it's better. Like I don't feel like it still clicks, but it doesn't hurt.
Yeah.
I stopped doing the exercise for a bit, and now I'm back.
That's insane, bro.
Yeah.
Okay, so you mentioned your dad. Wait, are we rolling?
You're rolling.
We're rolling. Oh, okay, awesome. So welcome, guys. My name is Wissam. I have my guy Hussein here with me today. This is my first official podcast that I've done, just entirely. I've been on other podcasts, but like my own podcast where I'm the host. This is it. I'm very excited to have my first guest on. Hussein, I want to touch on what you just said, like your backstory. You were like with your dad working out in the gym. Kind of introduce yourself to the folks that don't know you.
Of course. My name's Hussein, 22 years old, and I just do fitness content. I'm not an influencer.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah, I do fitness content. I've been doing it for like a year and a half. Blew up mainly because of the transformation. Basically, I've only been training for 3 years. And basically backstory, I'm Lebanese. My parents came here when they were like young. And yeah, just grew up until I was like 18. I hated my physique, hated the way I looked. And I just decided to get in the gym. Actually, I was 19. Decided to get in the gym. And I had all the knowledge prior because my dad used to train when he first started. When he was back in Lebanon. And basically came here and taught me everything. But I never actually took action till I was 19. And then I decided to start training. 18 months later, started doing content. And now I'm here.
Amazing. Mashallah. So your dad was a big bodybuilder, or he was just like very knowledgeable about the gym and he just kind of tossed that onto you?
Yeah, I would say not a like bodybuilder, never compete or anything, but really into it. Great genetics as well. Barely like takes anything seriously, like food and anything. But he looks amazing for his age. Like 50, he looks like he's like
Mashallah.
in his like early 30s. But yeah, he had like all the knowledge basically, threw it onto me. And obviously I had to do some research at the same time. Because you know how it is in Lebanon.
Of course, bro, of course. I was there last year and like went to the gym. These guys were wearing belts doing bench press. I'm like, bro, what's going on? I don't know what's happening.
That's exactly what it is, bro. Belt on bench press.
Exactly.
Try not injure yourself.
Exactly.
But yeah, that was basically it.
That's dope. You've only been doing it for a year and a half.
Content?
Yeah,
a year and a half.
And then training for what, 3 years?
3 years now.
3 years. How have you found that journey so far?
Bro, amazing, bro. I kept telling myself, and I love this message. I try to push it as much as possible because I kept telling myself, this is going to take so long to be able to get to where I want to get to. Because you see those transformations, like, obviously I'm not saying, mine is realistic for every single person, but I kept telling myself it's going to take me like 10 years to be able to look at least good. And I just flipped that mindset and started telling myself, like, the time's gonna go by anyway. I'm 19
sure.
now. I could have started when I was 16, so I'll start right now and I'll get there. Never thought I'll be like, you know, training with Greg Doucette and flexing with Alex Eubank years later. But yeah, it's been amazing, bro.
Wow.
Pulled a bunch of muscle and now I'm here.
Yeah. Before I get into like the bulk of what I wanted to ask you today, bro, I just want to give you your flowers first and foremost. You've really paved the way for a lot of guys, especially myself. Just being a Arab influencer in this space, a Muslim Arab influencer, doing what you're doing, putting your head down, grinding, even going on to, I believe it was Jubilee, where you were speaking about Islam. Like that is a very, very pivotal thing. And I want you to understand the impact of doing that, especially for myself, bro. With a lot of other guys in the industry, it's very taboo to speak about Islam just because of, you know, there's obviously prescribed backlash you'll receive. And you went on there and you just like, were like, yo, this is me. This is what I do. This is what I'm about. Like no holds barred. And I just want to give you your flowers before anything, bro. Like genuinely, mashallah alaik, you've done so much for the industry, so much for myself, so much for a lot of guys that you probably don't even know about. You just paved the way for all of us, bro.
Thank you.
So I just wanted to tell you that.
Appreciate that, bro. And same to you, bro. I heard you talking about like your whole family, taking care of them and stuff. I know, you know, with your dad, Allah yarhamu, bro. And yeah, bro, it's amazing, man. I love that. That's what I do it for as well. Like obviously, like alhamdulillah, my parents are good now. But you know, I'm just working as hard as possible to be able to take care of them. And a lot of people don't see it that way. You know, they're just doing it for themselves and whatever. So I love also the message.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Well, on that note, outside of the content itself, who is Hussein on the inside? Like outside of the cameras, outside of everything you see online, who is Hussein?
I would say just a regular kid, bro. Like I honestly, like my life now is mainly work. I really like delved into it. And the main reason is because I kind of hated what I was doing before, like school and everything. Hussein is probably just a like hardworking guy when he knows it's going towards something, if that makes sense. Yes. So yeah, just a regular Muslim kid. That's it, bro. And basically like everybody.
I definitely relate, bro. Obviously, you know, I think I was telling Uthman yesterday when we were on the other podcast, like in order to live a fruitful life, you have to live selflessly. And that means providing for others, doing things for others, because that's where the real gratitude and happiness really is. Like if you're doing everything for yourself, buying this, doing this, like going on these adventures, you're never going to truly fulfill yourself in any aspect of life. Like my main goal in life is obviously to provide for my family and take my mom to Umrah and all these things, but none of those things have to do with me. And I can see that in yourself, bro, especially with now your sister making her own page. And then when I met your brother, in Miami. Like you have your right-hand man with your akhuk at all times, bro. I was talking to him, he was like, we just, you know, we go everywhere together and we do everything together. And like that brotherhood is something you don't see in our space at all, bro. At all. Because you know how people are, bro. Everybody's wishy-washy. Like you're friends for a year, maybe not. You don't get to do a piece of content, everything just comes crash and burn you down. So I definitely respect that a lot for you.
Absolutely, Habib, I appreciate you. And I feel like, I don't know why, bro. So many people, they have like beef with their family. I don't get, bro.
Me neither, bro.
I have no idea how that could happen. Like obviously we have like disagreements and stuff, but like 30 minutes later, call them regular, back to work. We have stuff to do. And yeah, bro, I do everything with my family. My brother, we're doing a clothing brand together now. He's actually part of the clothing brand I told you about before. He's like, you know, same level as me, doing the same thing. He takes care of like the whole back end. And yeah, he helps me with content. My sister, I, you know, helped her grow her page. 3 months in, she's almost like at 200,000 followers.
Wow.
Yeah, it's going, it's pretty funny, bro. But yeah, everything with my family. I don't see the point if like if I'm not going to be sharing it with the people I love. Like, why am I doing this?
Of course.
And obviously, I still have a bit of fun. You know, I get some stuff here and there.
Of course.
I get some stuff here and there. But it's honestly like it shows me how much is not important because I don't get the same gratification from that stuff. Like for example, I got my car recently. It's nothing, bro. It doesn't mean anything. Like obviously, it's cool. You know, you sit in and everything, but you know, giving money to my mom and taking care of my family, it means a lot more, bro.
Yeah, bro. I wanted to ask you, so how did your family receive everything that's happened over the last year and a half? Because for me, bro, like with my mom, she was like, I remember walking up to her, and you can probably attest to this. I walked up to her with my first viral video, what I thought was like crazy viral. Had like 200K views on a stitch. I was like, mama, like, look, I got 200K views. She was like, okay, now what? Like, are we gonna pay the bills with that? Like, what's going on? Like, cool, amazing, mashallah, but like, what now? So how did your family receive?
Honestly, bro, it was kind of gradual, like gradual but fast. So basically, like I started doing content, like I said, almost a year and a half ago, maybe a bit more, and I grew from month 1 to 70,000 followers, like first month. Alhamdulillah, bro. And so basically, like I didn't tell anybody about anything. Obviously, my brother used to watch me, knows what it means, but it didn't really bring money until I started coaching. I started my coaching 1 month in as well, and I made like, I'll say numbers. I don't mind, bro. It's fine. I made like $12,000 in like my first 2 weeks of doing the stuff. And I dropped out of school. And
you dropped out? Here I am trying to graduate. Bro, I graduated in 2 weeks.
Yeah. I did 2 years as well, bro.
Yeah.
I did 2 years. But the thing is, like I said, I work hard when I know it's going towards something.
Yes.
And I knew school wasn't for me. And I think the main reason school helped me, the only way it helped me is because I hated it so much that it motivated me to do what I'm doing now a lot harder. You know what I mean? So I guess it helped me in that sense, but like the actual learning from it, nothing, bro. And so I just quit my job, left school, and just focused on it.
Full sent it.
Yeah, full sent it. I feel like if you're not gonna full send it, like I'm not saying like obviously if you know you gotta finish, you got a couple of weeks.
I'm
left.
2 weeks, bro.
Like,
I'm already here, bro. Can't just drop now, you know.
Yeah, exactly. But like I had like 2 years left, and I was like, I'm sure 100% I'm not gonna use it. And even if I get it, like I don't want to use it.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'll full send it, and I feel like if you have a plan B, like forget plan A doesn't matter. So yeah, that was why.
Yeah, you can't go half foot in, half foot out. I've realized that, bro. I started my coaching last year.
Yeah.
And then I made, I'll say it since you said it, I made like 10K or eight something within the first like week or 2-3 weeks.
Awesome.
And this is more than I had made from any sponsor, more than I had made from any like TikTok creator rewards program, literally anything. So to me, bro, like I've never made this amount of money in my life. I'm like, bro, I'm balling. I'm balling, bro.
That was the feeling,
so I booked a trip to Greece. After that, I went to Egypt. I went to Lebanon, bro. I was just here, take. And then I lost it all pretty much.
Yeah, okay.
And I got really down on myself. I like gave up essentially. And after that, I was like, got to go back to the sponsor route. I have to find a sponsor. And so alhamdulillah, at that time, like I was able to float for a little bit, got some sponsors again, was able to carry myself for a little bit.
Yeah.
At the end of this past year, 2024, I had a lot of stuff going on. I was at a really, really low point. And, you know, I kind of just got back down to the basics. I was like, what do I do that people, you know, want to do as well? Like, you know, I did coaching before, you know, I can transform people. I can do this for other people. I've done it for myself. I've done it for X, Y, and Z. Why not try to do it again? So I picked it up again. And alhamdulillah, like as of recently, it's been amazing, bro. It's just because I didn't stop with it. It's because you can never give up. Like I had the half foot in, half foot out thing. And I realized like I can't do that, bro. With anything in life. And then you're a good testament of that because you just full sent you. You weren't like, let me do this, pick up this, pump other people's bags. Let me do what is right for me so that way I can take care of my family as the man of the household. So I really, really respect what you do.
Appreciate
bro.
You,
it's awesome.
And absolutely, like that's the thing. I joined Gymshark once for like 3 months and they offered me like a re-sign. And that's basically what I told you just before the pod. Like I told them, no, I'm good. I'm doing my own thing, my own clothing brand. And I did Gladiolas. Bro, in 1 month, I did more than what they would have paid me for like the whole year. Basically, like as a salary. So it's always better to bet on yourself, do your own thing. And but obviously it's not for everybody. Like some people prefer like stability. But for me, like it's not even a risk. I know it's gonna work, so I just do it, bro.
Stability and comfort, bro. It's I got looped into it. Everybody gets looped into it, especially influencers. Like everybody looks at influencers like, oh, bro, this guy's balling, bro. You're making I was making 2K a month, bro. Like 24K a year. At what point am I balling, bro? I'm not balling, dog. But it was more for me. Like I want to ask you with social media, especially like. What is your ultimate goal or message that you want to get across to people? I know you're very value oriented. You give a lot of people a lot of information, a lot of knowledge with your physique. What's something about Hussein that people don't see on camera?
I feel like recently I've been talking a lot more on camera. Like they know a bit more about me. I would say like I always push like the natural route and everything, obviously because you know that's what worked for me and you know seeing those people in the industry. I feel like most people are bullshitting, bro. Like most people are not natural, you know how it is. So like that's why I feel like my message is do it naturally, like do it for your health as well. You know that's why I got into lifting in the first place. And if your goal is to look good, you know you can definitely do it. But the main message, like I said, it's the thing that I told you before. Like it's not going to take a while if you do it right and if you do it 100%. You know, not half in, half out. Like I'm training, but my diet is shit, or like I'm working, but I'm doing this on the side as well. So it's like. Do this thing 100% and trust me, the results are exponential from that point. Yeah.
Awesome. All right. So I got some questions written down here. I want to go ahead and get into those before I forget and before I start yapping my head off here. So here's one question that I really, really wanted to ask you. Do you ever feel like you've become a character for social media? Like people know the brand Hussein.fht, but they don't know the man for Hussein.fht.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I would say so. Like I feel like most people know me for the physique, obviously, like, you know, what I show on social media. And but I don't really mind it. Like, I feel like that's also the message that I push. I kind of did it to myself. You know, that's what I push.
Yeah.
That's what I do. So yeah, I feel like most people do know me for like what I look like, and that's why I'm doing more YouTube now, trying to transition into more like like more in real life stuff. So yeah, I would say so. Yeah,
For sure.
How about you?
Honestly, bro, it wasn't only until this like past year where I've had a bunch of stuff hit me like a truck. Obviously with the boy, Allah yarhamo, like things like I was saying earlier at the end of 2024, like a lot of things were just falling apart, bro. Falling apart, losing brand deals, like my page was slowing down. I really, really wanted to just give up, bro. At the end of 2024, like I remember calling my friend on the phone, like, bro, is this even worth it? Like I wanted to just stop, bro. I just wanted to give up on everything. And then I remembered, you know, what exactly I was doing this for. I remembered my why. I made a video about this not too long ago about remembering your why. And my why was always to be somebody that people have needed in their life, but they never had. Because that's what it was for me. I always wanted to be somebody in my life that I never had. You know, in high school, obviously, Muslims, bro, I never drank, I never smoked, I never have, and I never will. And so finding my identity in school, coming up in college was very, very difficult. I live in Tallahassee, Florida. It's a big party school. It's all kids do there, bro. So I'm like a big fish in a small pond. Like I'm trying to figure out where I'm supposed to go in life, and I don't know what's happening. I don't know where I'm supposed to be going. And I'm thinking to myself, like, is this even right? Right? And so when I got to college and I started doing content, like full sent it. I had so many people unfollow me that, you know, claim to be friends of mine. And I'm sure you have the same thing, bro. And so at that point I was like, you know what? I live for a bigger purpose. You know, I've had conversations with people that have told me like, you know, your words have truly made an impact on me. And so I ran with that. I was like, bro, I have something here. I have to. And I'm not somebody that receives praise very well at all. I'm not, and I never have been that way. So when I, you know, back in 2024, I was like, you know, I have to do this, bro. I have to. There's so many people counting on me, not only just my family, but the fan base or the following. I hate to call them fans, but the following that I've built, you know, they're relying on a message from me every few days or so. Like they need somebody. And if I give up, bro, I'm letting them down. I'm letting however many thousands of people down. Like I can't do that, you know? So that's pretty much my why, bro. Like I have so many people that have reached out and told me like, yo, your message helped me. Your message helped me. Your message helped me. The way you carry yourself, the way you've picked yourself up after your father, that's what drives me every day. My why will always stay within my following. And then obviously with my family, like being able to provide for them and being able to just lead, you know, a group of people that, you know, I didn't think I would be able to lead before.
Yeah.
So
True. Yeah. Of course, you can't, like, you don't really see it until you actually see it.
yeah, bro. You don't really know what you have until you lose it.
Yeah.
And I almost lost it. And so I had a conversation with my mom, and she was like, you know, have you seen this, this, and this? A lot of things that you don't see from, you know, the driver's seat.
Yeah.
Within your social media. Like, so with your brother, for example, when I was talking to him, I was like, bro, this is amazing to have him right by your side, because he probably keeps you humble. He probably like tells you certain things. I'm sure. Yeah. He probably tells you stuff that you probably don't notice all the time.
Yeah.
And until I found people like that in my life, I was very just tunnel vision. Like, you know, I know what I'm doing. I know exactly the method. And it turned out I didn't.
Yeah.
You know, and that was a very humbling experience for myself, because things weren't going the way I wanted them to, because I was just so stuck on my own method of ways, you know, of doing things. So
I see what you mean. Yeah. True. Definitely.
All right, let me go on to the next question right here.
Let me pop this open.
Go ahead. Oh, also, bro, go ahead and talk about what we got in the background here,
Oh,
bro.
yeah, we have
Do your thing.
HLT subs. This is basically actually Greg's brand I'm co-owner of. So, yeah, HLT subs. We have Turk as well. I actually have everything in the bag,
bro.
Yeah.
Plug your stuff, bro. Go ahead, do what you got to do.
Let me pop it. Honestly, this is the best supplement. This is Turk Max. I know it gets a lot of hate, but you got to try it from HLT, because most people use like stuff from China because it's cheaper to use. But we did like a test recently, like testing out like different brands. I'll say names, fuck it. Gorilla Mind. Honestly, that's the only name I know. Gorilla Mind and a few other brands, and they're all from China, basically fake Turk. So this, if you want to try it, try it out. There's also like a money back guarantee. So if you don't like it, you get your money back.
Amazing,
so
amazing.
That's one thing.
What does Turk do exactly? I'm not too knowledgeable.
Yeah, so basically what it does for me, bro, it just makes you feel a bit more aggressive in the gym. So let's say like you know when you're bulking, basically the way you feel. Like I'm always cutting, so I kind of lost that feeling a while ago. Yeah. But it makes me like a bit more aggressive. So only if I get like one more rep per exercise, over time that builds muscle.
Fantastic.
So that's what it does for me. And GO2 Max is I think I have it somewhere, but I'll just talk about it. Like it just helps you with cardio. I always hated cardio, but I suck at cardio, and it just helps me like just keep going, and I don't really feel like I'm gonna pass out basically. So it gives you more endurance basically.
Fantastic. Yeah, bro. I hated cardio for the longest time.
I'll give you some after.
Oh, yeah, bro. I was gonna say I'd definitely love to try some of the stuff. I've seen it everywhere, bro.
Yeah.
Like GO2 Max, GO2 Max.
GO2 Max is amazing. Probably the
good?
best supplement. Like obviously there's the regular pre-workout whey, but like other than that, like GO2 Max is. I'll give you one.
Dope.
Alright,
I appreciate that.
I got you.
Okay, so I want to touch back on what we were talking about earlier with Islam,
Yeah.
specifically. So where's the line, or if everything you built vanished overnight,
Yeah.
what are the 3 key things that you stand on as Hussein the man? Like if your social media platforms just vanished, like what are the things that you really stand on as a man?
Do you mean could I build it again?
Could you build it again?
Yeah.
And then outside of just like social media, what you do
forget
entirely?
social
Yeah.
media. Okay, yeah. I would say the fact that I did social media in the last 3 years, well, actually year and a half, but like the journey of the gym and everything, I'm totally a different person than what I was like 19. When I was 19, obviously, like I was Muslim, praying and everything. I wasn't as consistent. I'll be totally honest. Now I'm a lot more consistent. But I would say the main thing, discipline. That's like you can remove everything. I'll keep working and build it all up again. I know I can do it again. I'm really analyze a lot. I like to analyze stuff.
Yeah.
That's how I kind of like got the algorithm.
Yeah.
A lot of people call me like the algorithm master or
Yeah,
whatever.
bro, it's insane.
And the way I do it, bro, like I started doing a bunch of videos at first. Like, I tried everything, funny stuff, workout stuff, posing videos. And I was like, obviously there has to be some sort of value. Posing, like obviously you give some kind of inspiration, motivation, which is fine. But it's not what I want to do. Like I also kept in mind, like I want to make money from this. That was also one of the goals. Obviously, like I'm not just doing it for fun. At some point, I actually transitioned to the money. A funny story, actually. When I first started like doing my social media, I just had a friend who was doing content, and he had like 20,000 followers, not much. But he got like free stuff, like free supplements.
Yeah.
And that's why I started, bro. I was like, I want free supplements as well, so I'll start posting. And so that's why I got started. Just a quick story. But yeah, I would say like I'm really analytical. Like I like to look at stuff and basically analyze to see how I can optimize it. So discipline, analyzing, and like faith. Obviously, that's what it is, bro. Like I would say, it helps so much. Like I just go through life, and for example, I was on a plane going to when I went to Ohio. And there was like turbulence and stuff, and plane was like everybody was kind of like
straight to the Fatiha.
Everyone was kind of like freaking out and stuff. But I was like, I know I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, and I'm praying and I'm following everything the way it's supposed to be. So if it crashes right now, I'm good. Alhamdulillah, it's the way it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
And that just that peace of mind, bro. It's just like you go through life. If something happens, you lose a brand deal, for example, or whatever happens that's out of your control, you don't even stress about it. It's God's plan.
Yeah, I will say, bro, like Islam for me has been crucial, like the absolute like ground stone that I've needed in my life. Throughout all of high school and middle school, I prayed, alhamdulillah, like every day, bro. I didn't miss a prayer.
Awesome.
And then when I got to college, things kind of got out of whack. I was losing myself a little bit. And even up until recently, bro, I was just, Islam like was always in the back of my mind, but I never truly knew enough about it.
Yeah.
And it's crazy, bro. I had a friend of mine that is non-Muslim, and he made me more Muslim.
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
That happens.
Yeah, he made me more Muslim.
Yeah.
So he literally was like asking me questions about Islam, trying to know more and like challenging certain ideas, and I just didn't have enough to give to him.
Information.
Yeah, and so I had an English Quran at home that my mom always had. She was always telling me to read it, and I was like, I'll get to it. I pray enough, like that's enough. That's enough. So I was like, what? One day, let me just grab it. 10 pages a day. What's 10 pages a day gonna do to me? So I started picking it up, and I was reading it and truly understanding what I believe in, bro. Opened my eyes to everything. Anything on this earth is possible as long as I keep, Islam true and near to my heart.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize that until I was in the depths of despair, bro. Like the end of 2024, like I was like, what's going on? And then I thought to myself, I was like, what has always been there for me that I've never had to like think twice about? Salah.
Yeah.
Islam, like what has always been there? It's always been there my entire life. It's always been there. So why not turn to something that I know is consistent?
True. I need to do that. Yeah.
Yeah, bro.
I think that's also one thing. Like once you actually understand why you're doing something, and that goes back to also like when I told you I hated school because it wasn't like towards a specific goal for me. Once you actually understand why you're doing it, it makes it so much easier. So like it's hard to push like religion on someone who doesn't understand why they're doing it. So I definitely need to like Alex was talking yesterday about Jesus. Obviously like I'm Muslim and everything, but he was making good points on like why he's following his religion. And it kind of made me think a little bit. So I definitely need to go more in depth and like learn more about Islam and actually read.
I think it's imperative us as young men, especially within the space that we're in specifically.
Yeah.
I started posting a lot more Islamic stuff towards Ramadan, and even before that, with my motivational videos, I started speaking more Arabic, and I had a lot of Muslims and Arabs reach out to me like, "Yo, this is great, this is great." But then I also have those guys. You probably have them too. They're like, "Bro, cover this or do this," or like you get the backlash, and it's inevitable.
Sides,
inevitable. So how have you dealt with, if any, backlash that you've received from Muslims?
I get it here and there, to be honest. I would say I'm doing like, obviously it would be better, but like it's like really strict. I know, like for example, cover this, like you said. It does like pass by, like I do hear it, but I don't really stress too much about it, just because I know the impact that I'm having on people is a lot greater than, you know, what I'm showing. Obviously it's not perfect, it could be perfect, but like I feel like if I wasn't doing this, it wouldn't affect people as good as as it is right now. So I would say, that's how I deal
like
with
the good outweighs the bad.
Yeah, exactly. And for example, like, you know, one of my friends actually like showed me one of your videos, actually, like he talking
awesome,
about, like,
bro.
he was like, you know, I'm gonna lock in now and everything, and he was it was a video of you doing, I think it was incline Smith machine. That was the exercise. Like he just showed me a quick clip, but you were talking about like, you know, why you were put on this earth. And, like,
Your
job as a man, and he was like, you're definitely affecting people in the right way.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that. I definitely like to push it a little, like frugally, like as much as I can. But for me specifically, bro, like I live a very private life with my family. I try to as much as I can. So, and I have a lot of sisters. Like Islam is always at the forefront of everything I do. The way I think, the way I move, the way I approach people, the way I respect everybody. I definitely would love to push it more. It's just obviously that backlash. There's always a check and balance for everything you do, you know? Like I literally I had a video where I was speaking about Ramadan 2025, and I was speaking to young men like ourselves. I was like, yo, if this is the only time of the year that you're going to be on your deen and okay with what you're doing, like do it. Whatever you do outside of that is not, you know, anybody else's judgment between you. It's between you and Allah. Yeah. And I had a lot of good feedback from it, but I also was like, why are you pushing this message? Why are you saying this? Why are you saying? So you can never really win.
You can never win, bro.
You can never win.
Like there's always people that are gonna find something negative about what you said. Like I could say like, pray today, you know, which is a good message, but they're gonna, what about tomorrow? You know, there's always gonna be people finding a bad thing, and honestly, don't mind those people, bro. Like you just don't get it, to be honest. And you'll never see that in person. That's what
never, bro. Have you ever had a negative experience with anybody in person?
Never.
Me neither. Never.
On the keyboard, bro.
Yeah, bro. Keyboard warriors, dog.
Keyboard warriors,
I swear. Like
that's it.
I had a kid. It's funny, bro. I had a kid DM me. I posted like a picture of me at the gym, and he was cursing me out, and then for like days on end. Yeah. And I never replied to him. It was just in my hidden. And then the next message was like, Allahumma barik, bro. You look so good, bro. Like fire, keep it up. I was like, and so I replied to that comment, and he sent me a paragraph apologizing for all the like 20, 30 messages before. I was like, bro, come on, dog. Like you would never do this if you were to shake my hand in person.
Exactly. I think they're just like behind the screen, and they're like, they don't really think about it too much. So I don't judge people. But yeah.
Awesome. All right. I want to go to my next question. How are we doing on time, fellas? Solid? Okay. Dope.
Awesome.
So, all right. Do you ever feel like the success that you've had, Allahumma barik, forced you to grow up faster than you were ready for?
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. Yeah, definitely. 100%. I would say I was kind of a child until I was like 19. And starting the gym was probably the best decision I ever made, just because it was the first time I was putting effort into something, and it was actually getting some sort of results. You know, I was going to school. I was putting efforts. I hated all of it, but it wasn't getting the results I wanted to. So in my head, it was like effort doesn't equate to results. So putting effort in the gym, you know, taught me, like I learned, you know, it gets you something, and that's also helped me in growing to where I am right now. So like doing the content and expecting some sort of results from stuff. Everything that I do now, I expect some sort of result. Obviously, like not everything, but like, at least like if I'm putting effort into something, I expect something out of it. But I would say, yeah, definitely, bro. Like I was a kid until I was like 19. And then, you know, starting, doing content and stuff, making more money. I take care of like, my goal now is like to retire my parents, hopefully in the next few months. Inshallah. And inshallah, yeah. And yeah, I'm only 22, so I have to like, and it was all really fast too. Like it was like most people, it takes them a bit more time to get to where I'm at right now in terms of following. So I'm really happy about it, but also I have to learn all the back end stuff, the business stuff behind it. So I have to force myself to learn. So yeah, definitely. Like the more success I get, the more I have to like adapt to it and improve myself as a person.
For sure.
To just put myself to that level too.
For sure.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this, because this is something I deal with on a daily basis.
Yeah.
It's the craziest sense of urgency. I wake up every day and it's like I have to go.
That's good.
I have to make it.
Yeah.
How do you deal with the sense of urgency behind you as Hussein.fht now in order to continue doing what you're doing?
Yeah, and that's a good question. When you said about like your why, remembering your why, I was gonna tell you like I don't even remember my why. I just do it. I just wake up, I work. I sometimes I do like not the best, but that's also like some people would see my day and they're like, oh, that's the most productive day I've ever seen. And in my head, it's like it's not enough. I could have done this instead. The way I deal with it, bro, is just I tell myself like, I've got so far already by doing these things. If I slow down now, like I'll just lose everything. And also, and that's maybe a kind of a toxic way to think. I tell myself I've been lucky so far, so now I need to work hard to keep it. If that makes sense. Everybody like getting to that point. There's like some sort of luck. So I'm like, all right, I've been lucky. It's probably not going to happen again. So now I need to work hard to be able to maintain it.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I firmly believe that the harder you work, the luckier you are.
Yeah. 100%.
Because opportunities will start aligning that you never thought possible.
Absolutely.
Like even for me, bro, like this right now, I'm like, wow. Like I was in Ohio and I was at the Young LA thing, bro, and I'm standing in front of David Dobrik.
Yeah.
I'm like, how did my feet get here? So I had to boil everything back down to my why. Like everything I've done up until this point, there has to be luck involved. But that's all equated to how hard each of us have worked in order to get to that point. It doesn't just happen.
Yeah.
So whenever people come up and they're like, yo, what you're doing, like, it's great, it's amazing, but I think or like some people will hate, like, I think I could do that, it's easy or whatever. Like, do it, bro.
Yeah,
do it.
Exactly.
Do it, bro. And they never will.
Nobody does it.
They never will.
There's luck, but only if you decide to work hard. Like,
only if
you
you
can
decide
have opportunities. Like, that's, I guess, what's called luck. You get some opportunities and you take advantage of them. Yeah, the more you work, the more you're going to see them. Yeah.
How do you deal with adversity? So say some things like don't go your way. How do you deal with that?
It depends. It depends what it is. If I don't really have like control over them, I don't really think about it too much. Like, that's God's plan. I just like move on to the next thing. Give me an example, just so I can.
So you have a week.
Okay.
We've dealt with it, bro. You've had a week where content's not doing what you think it's supposed to be doing, or it's not going the way it's supposed to be going. Business is not going the way it's supposed to be going, or you had a falling out with somebody. Like my idea of of adversity is like, for example, like losing the brand deal or content not doing well, not growing as fast as I thought I would, or this month wasn't as good as last month. For me, like I've gotten times where I've really, really gotten down on myself, but then I had to flip that switch.
Yeah.
So when you deal with something like that, what's your go-to, like, okay, what do I have to do now? Like, what's your go-to thing that you think about?
Okay. So first thing I would do like is tell myself, or like just question myself, why am I in this position now? For example, I lost a brand deal. Why did I lose a brand deal? Or what could I have done to maybe not even be in this situation? Or do my own brand or do my own thing and not have to depend on other people, paying me to be able to make ends meet, for example. So, questioning the main reason of why I'm in here, like in the first place, and making sure I don't do it again. So, but always working, bro. I feel like if you work, you just forget about it, bro. You're just on to the next thing. And it is hard to do, but it absolutely works, bro. Like, you keep questioning yourself, you overthink, oh, I could have done this. But when you're working, bro, like you're just going towards it even more. So I would say just work, bro.
Keeping yourself busy, huh?
Keeping yourself busy, yeah. Because it's going to at least like get you closer to a specific goal.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Now, in terms of like the content that you make, is it something that you're doing every single day? You're recording every single day? You have B-roll lined up every single day? Like how does your content schedule work?
Good question. Yeah, I kind of use like a lot of, I record like on specific days and I use the clips on different videos. But now what I want to get into, and I feel like this is going to really help me grow even more, is I want to do more like long form videos with a bunch of people. I recorded with Alex yesterday, for example. I did a video with Greg last week, and I want to take these videos and just clip them up to be able to put them on like short form or have different clip accounts, which is something I want to get into as well. Sure. And like just have take long form and put it into short form because you can't do the opposite. So now I want to do like focus on YouTube a bit more, grow it out, and at the same time take clips and put them into Instagram, and obviously like do some shorts as well at the same time. But now I don't record every day. Maybe like every other day I do like a YouTube video and stuff, and I take those clips into short form.
Amazing. So you've kind of optimized the whole process, bro.
I try to. Yeah, I don't even like. I try to optimize everything to be able to, just get the most out of it, basically.
Yeah.
Because I can only get like so many hours or something, so I try to make the most out of it. So yeah, even like my coaching now, I have like a team behind it as well that helps me with everything, just to make it more optimized, basically. Yeah.
Amazing.
How about you? How do you do your content right now?
So right now for me, it's kind of just whenever, bro. It's
Yeah.
very sporadic just because with the content that I make, I don't try to put off a fake message. I've had many hundreds of videos that I've scrapped because
Yeah.
I've tried to choreograph them.
Yeah.
Every video that you see that's on my page currently is a reflection of what I'm going through internally.
That's
so
awesome,
one day, I'll tell you straight up, bro, I had, there was something that happened between me and this girl back in 2022, 2023, something like we were talking for like a year.
Yeah.
Everything was going really, really well. And then heartbreak, bro. It's just everything just kind of collapsed.
Yeah.
And bro, I was going to the gym twice a day. I was doing like an hour of Stairmaster with a hoodie on, bro, before the gym closed. It was terrible, bro. And I learned a lot about myself there, but that was around the time where I was still doing like exclusively stitches and reaction and like funny content. But I've always been able to speak. I've always been able to hold conversations and like get to the root cause of people's hurt or emotions just naturally. When we have conversations like this, I've just always been able to do it. So I bought a camera, bro, that I never really used. I bought a big lens and all these things. And I was like, you know what, bro? I'm literally drenched on the Stairmaster. Let me put this camera down. Somebody is probably thinking what I'm thinking right now. Let me see if I can try to flip this on a dime and speak to them as if, you know, they were the camera. So I put the camera down, and it was one of my first ever speaking videos. And the premise was, don't ever let anybody tell you that your golden heart is too much. You know, if you're a kind person, stay a kind person. Don't ever let anybody say that you're too nice, you're too kind, you're too giving, you're too much of anything, right? Because you, at the end of the day, know who you are. You know your intentions. So don't ever let anybody tell you that you're too much. And that video like skyrocketed, blew up, bro. Blew up. It was like one of my first ever speaking videos. So when I did that, I was like, okay, I have to do it again. I was on this high. I was like, I had to do it again. I got to do it again. I put the camera outside like the next day. I tried to record 3 or 4 more videos. And when I watched them, it wasn't the same. It wasn't the same. I could tell that I was acting. I could tell that it just wasn't me. And so from then on, like, I was like, okay, if I ever record a speaking video, it has to be something natural. It has to be something true to me. It has to be something that even like a friend of mine is going through, because I can relate to a lot of things that, you know, a lot of young men are going through. So whenever I make content now, it's never really like this. I have to make this on this day, this on this day. It's whatever comes to mind at the time. I work very optimally when I'm spontaneous. If there's something that comes to mind, if I do it right then and there, it's going to come out the way I'm thinking about it. If I write notes about it or try to like put this in there, it's not going to work as well as I wanted to. The other stuff, like more lifestyle stuff, I'm trying to get to more value. And like, obviously the gym is my life. So I'm trying to get to more value and like knowledge stuff. That stuff I'm still trying to figure out. But as far as like a content schedule, I try to post like 5 to 7 times a week across all platforms, YouTube, TikTok, you know, YouTube Shorts, Instagram, and just kind of go from there. But right now it's a little more spontaneous just because I haven't found a method of doing things that's just going to work at a like optimized pace. You know,
you just got to try different stuff and see what works better. Are you like doing YouTube as well, long form?
I'm doing, this is my first long form YouTube thing.
Awesome,
So I did it a while ago, but obviously with me being my one-man show, bro, like everything was just super, super hard. And so like now I'm getting into more delegation, having somebody edit, maybe somebody recording. Just that way I can operate myself as Wissam, the brand, a little more streamlined rather than doing everything myself, bro.
You need a team, bro. You need a team. Like I've never edited a YouTube video.
Really?
Ever.
Damn.
Everything is delegated. I record, like I edit my Instagram shorts and.
Oh, you do those too? Okay. Dope.
I used to do them like when I first started. So obviously I know how mine are pretty simple as well, most of them. But yeah, YouTube, I just delegate everything. It's just hard because if you're trying to do everything at the same time, you're, let's say, doing the coaching, you're focusing too much on it, you're not going to be able to do the content, and you'll lose out on the people that are like, you know, actually you lose out on the tool that's getting you those people in the first place. That's something I told you as well. Like, focus on the content. That's how you're getting those people in the first place. So yeah, you can delegate stuff that you feel like would be delegatable, I guess, and just focus on the rest. Yeah,
for sure.
That's how to do it. Yeah.
I got some more questions here we'll go through. So how do you stay grounded when your entire identity is being watched online, judged, and praised, essentially? Like, how do you stay grounded to who you are?
I feel like that's just the main reason why people watch me is because I am who I am, or like I do what I do. So I guess like I just keep doing what I do. Like there's no reason of trying to act like someone or be someone else. Like you said, like I went on a Jubilee thing, was just myself talking about like, you know, why I didn't step forward for that question in specific. And I'm like, all right, if people like it, they like it. If they don't, I don't want them to follow me in the first place. So that's how I do it. I don't try to act a specific way. And yeah, I'm myself and I go through it. Yeah. Pretty easy, bro. Like people are going to be here. And also like one thing that's going to suck as well is trying to act like someone and get followers off of it, because you're gonna have to keep up that persona your whole life. And bro, when you're trying to act like something and force it, like you said, it just sucks, bro.
I
Like,
feel like you end up losing who you are entirely by trying to be somebody else, and then having to come back to who you were in the first place. You almost forget who that person was entirely.
true.
Yeah, it sucks, bro. It sucks.
And it's also really hard to maintain. I would guess so, that it's hard to maintain, because you're playing that persona, and then like people are watching you and following you for it. So yeah, I want to say it's too hard. Like, I just made sure when I first started, I'm just doing what I want to do, and I'm who I am. And you know, if I get followers off of it, even better. Like people like Sam Sulek, for example, I'm sure he loves what he's doing, because he's just talking to the camera, being himself. So it shouldn't be too hard, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing, bro.
How about
Amazing. For me, bro, there was a point in time where I did lose myself a little bit.
Yeah.
Just because the followers shot up very fast and I didn't know how to receive it, bro. Like, I started really posting. I was posting 6 months straight in 2022, beginning of 2022 till like May or June of that year, like 5 to 6 times a day. I was just going. And I hit like 80K in a month and a half or 2 months, something like that. Yeah. So it really got to my head. I was like, bro, this is amazing. Like I was looking back at all the kids that I went to high school with, and I was like, bro, like, fuck all of y'all, bro. Look at me now.
Yeah.
And I remember posting a story like, bro, look at me now. Just being very like egotistical and not somebody that I have ever really been.
Yeah.
Just because I've never really had that. Like I never played never played a sport in high school. I never played like an instrument. Never had something that people could come see me do.
Yeah.
My brother Omar, on the other hand, big athlete guy, like big wrestler, big MMA guy. So like, I'm like, damn, bro, like I gotta be like Omar.
Yeah.
Gotta be like Omar. And I still am to this day like that.
That's good though.
Yeah,
Pushes you. Yeah.
Of course. But in terms of that specifically, like there was a point where I did lose myself.
Yeah.
I will say. I did lose myself. And it sucked because I didn't realize it until I had some friends be like, yo, bro, like,
chill out, man.
Yeah, what are you doing, bro? Like this isn't you.
Yeah.
And so when I pulled that back and I started realizing like, okay, this is something that I could really utilize to help people out instead of just like fueling my own ego.
Yeah.
Everything flipped, bro. Everything flipped. I started taking it a little more serious. I started approaching it a little differently just because your words matter, bro. Like, how you carry yourself matters. You don't realize how much of a target you are now.
Yeah.
So I guess that's good for another question too, bro. Like, do you ever feel like you're a target now or like you have a target on your back?
Kind of, yeah, kind of. I feel like, bro, I just pray and go through life and just do what I do. I don't really think about too much like of the outside stuff. Like, bro, I don't go out at all. I just work. My routine is basically wake up, go to the gym. In the gym, I get approached sometimes by a few people, but like I don't know why, like people I think they think I'm mean or something. I don't talk much in my videos, so maybe I give out like that vibe.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do my workout, go back home, and I work for the rest of the day. I'm actually moving out from my parents' house. I'm gonna live with my brother, because I want to lock in, work as hard as possible, even more. And I feel like I'm really close to my parents still, like maybe a 15-minute drive. But yeah, I just do my own thing, and I don't really, even if I'm a target, I don't care. Like I'm just doing what I'm doing, and if they want to attack me, they can, or it's not gonna change anything.
Yeah, just ban into Allah, bro. You know exactly what you're doing.
Yeah, just doing my own thing, and if it happens, it happens. And the following thing, like you said, like going through your head, I wouldn't say like it's never really gone to my head, just because I see it as a not that I don't like cherish it. Obviously, I'm really, really happy of the way things turned out, but I'm just like, all right, this is a product of me being me. So if you see it that way, bro, like you're just gonna keep doing what you're doing, and you're not gonna be too proud about it, because that would just mean you're changing yourself. You're being someone else.
Yeah.
So yeah, just go through life, be yourself, and see what happens. Yeah.
All right, I think I got a few more questions here.
Yeah.
How are we doing on time, boss? 43? Okay, about 15 more minutes. Oh, this is one I wanted to ask you. So you built yourself, you built your body, mashallah, you built your brand, obviously. Allahumma barik, inshallah, all the success to you, bro, and more. You built all these things before you turned 23, but what's something that all of that didn't fix for you?
Ooh, that's a nice one. That's a nice question. So like the whole physique thing, what's missing basically?
Yeah, what's something that to you that has not been fixed even through all the success that you've had?
I would say I was also talking to like a girl at some point, but I broke things off because it wasn't going to the way I wanted it to go. It was like there was getting some sort of issues and stuff, and I also wanted to focus a bit more on work. But I would say that's maybe one aspect of my life that isn't exactly like the way I want it to be, maybe. But obviously, I'm extremely young, and I don't think I'm in a position right now to have a family. I could, but I could. But I would say like that's one thing I feel like I think about it, but like I'm really focused on work. But yeah, having like, a wife, kids and stuff, I feel like that's something I'm working towards. It hasn't really been fixed as of now. But again, I'm extremely young, and I'm just working on myself. I would say other than that, like everything, alhamdulillah, is going like the way it's supposed to. I'm working really hard. I feel like I could do better, which is good, because if I was satisfied, I would just work less hard. But yeah, I would say that's one thing that's kind of missing. I want to hear yours, bro.
Yeah,
I want to hear yours.
Bro, it's the same thing.
Yeah?
Well, it's the same thing. I think about it all the time, bro. And I have a bunch of younger siblings. So for me, I've always wanted like a little mini me, bro. I've always wanted a little mini me. I've always wanted to be able to settle down and like give my mom a grandchild. Obviously with a boy, Allah yarhamu, like I always wanted. That was my biggest dream for him too.
I heard about that. Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to give my dad, a little grandchild. Because my dad, long story short, came here at 17 years old, built everything for himself, brought my entire bloodline overseas from Lebanon to here. Yeah. He was responsible for everybody, brought everybody over here, bro. And so my biggest thing in my life was like, I wanted to be able to retire him and give him a grandchild. And for the longest time, bro, like this is something that didn't fix for me, and I don't think ever will. And you could tell me, bro, I might be wrong in thinking this way about myself and my own journey. I often bog myself down just about not having been able to do that for my dad. And it sucks, bro. It sucks. It really does. Just because I know that's not a fair way of thinking.
It's not, bro.
It's not.
It's definitely not, bro. Like you're 23. Nobody makes it at that age. Like you're probably in the 0.0 whatever percent of male your age. So I don't think you should let yourself down. And I think you should see it in a way like you're actually now doing what you're supposed to be doing. Just use it as motivation, bro. Like there's two ways to see everything. Like you could see something and be like, oh, I wish I had that, or you could see something and like tell yourself, oh, I'm gonna work towards it. So just use it as a way to like, all right, it doesn't happen, but like now I'm gonna make sure at least I can take care of my mom and do that.
Yeah. I've definitely switched my perspective a bit, for sure. It hurt me for a long time, bro. I will be honest with you. It hurt me a very, very long time, and even to this day, it still does. Just because like I'm all still living at home with my family and everything, bro. That's like, awesome. So I see it. I see the door. I'm like, oh, damn, I wish Baba was here. I could tell him all these things. So that's something that I definitely think to myself from time to time, like I wish I could have fixed. But I've also learned in that breath that looking back on the past and trying to fix things that are out of your control, like you were saying earlier, are very unfair for you to put on yourself. So I snap out of it very fast. But in terms of like building a family myself, bro, I feel like we're very innately like we want to build a family now, bro. So what's stopping you then? Let me ask you, what's stopping you from like finding a wife, bro, and just like halas, like
there's just so much that goes through my mind. Like obviously the Muslim thing, like I need to be like obviously I'm not gonna talk to any girl or do whatever, like if it's not gonna lead to
marriage.
So and then and in that case I'm like, all right, she has to be the way I wanted her to be. But then I keep telling myself I'm not where I want to be yet. So if I was to find a girl now, maybe like it wouldn't work out because I'll be a different person in 3 years from now. So I want it, but then I'm like, all right, maybe in 3 years from now I'll be a different person and I'll be like where I want to be at that point, and then it wouldn't work out, if that makes sense. So I'm like, it's like I want it, but then I'm working on myself.
Well, where do you want to be? Because to the outsider's eye, for some people that are watching you, you are where they want to be.
Yeah, true.
So is it ever really enough in Hussein's mind? Like, is it ever really enough? Because say it, inshallah, you do all the things that you're setting out to do. You're already doing them, and everything keeps on trucking. You get to 10 million followers. However, is it at that point? Is it really enough?
That's a good question. I was talking about that with my brother as well, I think, and I want to. There's no like a specific point. Maybe it's just a way of thinking. Like I always work for more, and I'm not like at a point where I can just relax. Maybe that's it. Like when I get to a point where I can just sit down a bit more, maybe that's what I would say. Like I made it, and I can like just sit down. But I would say once I like retire my parents, that's first things first, and once I can like go for maybe basically retire myself as well. If that's the mindset I want to have, I'm never going to stop working. That's for sure. But like once I'm in a position where I could stop working if I wanted to, I think I'll be ready to get a family at that point. Yeah,
for sure. How many kids do you want?
Football team, bro.
Full 11, huh? With subs?
With subs, yeah.
With
like
subs.
4 subs.
Yeah.
No, honestly, I don't really have a number in mind, but I definitely want to have a good amount. Yeah. I don't have a specific.
I think 4, bro.
4, yeah.
4 is like good because there's not a middle child. I guess I'm looked at as the middle child. There's 6 of us, bro.
Yeah.
Alhamdulillah, there's 6 of us. So like, I'm the middle boy. I'm the middle guy in the family. So I guess from time to time I'm looked at as like the middle child.
Yeah.
But I don't want that for my family. You know, I don't want the pressure that I had growing up to be on like my son or my daughter.
Why not? Maybe not
Just
your
because,
daughter, but like your son.
Yeah,
Want to have them,
of
like,
course, I definitely want my son to work hard. Definitely am going to make him work hard. Sure, he's gonna have to. He has no choice. But for me, bro, like, you know, there's this saying. It's like hard times create strong men. Strong men create easy times. Easy times create weak men.
Yeah.
I want to create an easy time for my son, inshallah, but I don't want him to become a weak man. So I'm gonna obviously prescribe some of that pressure on him to make him work hard and make him do those things. But the stuff that I've been through, bro, I don't want my son to have to endure that.
I see what you mean.
You see what I'm saying?
I see what you mean, but I feel like they have to go through like some sort of, they have to go through hard times, like you said, to be able to get there. So, but I do get what you mean. Like you don't want them to go exactly through what you went through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I definitely want to make sure that they at least know the privilege to have what they will have.
Yeah.
But they need to know the work ethic and the things that it took to get there.
Yeah.
So I want them to be able to appreciate it for what it is. Like I want them to be ingrained in all the things that I do for work and, you know, a part of all of it so that they see how much it truly takes. Because if they don't, bro, they're just going to be blind to it.
True.
And you've probably encountered yourself a lot of kids that are like that, bro.
A bunch of them, yeah.
Too many, bro. Too many. And they don't know the value of having the things that they have until they lose it.
And that's one of the reasons as well. I feel like I'm not too exactly ready because I don't know how I will be able to instill that in my, like obviously maybe I will, like, you know, I'll step up to it and do it like I do with most things, but like I feel like I'm not ready right now because I'm not where I want to be as a man, and I've grown so much in the last 3 years. I'm like, all right, maybe I would be better off waiting, and then once I'm where I'm at, like at 28 maybe, or 25, whatever.
28, hello?
Yeah, no, maybe
bro,
before.
28, damn. I'm thinking 25. I got like a year and a half left, bro. I got to find somebody.
Maybe 25. Let's say like 26 to be safe.
Yeah.
Maybe when I'm 26, I mean, like a lot more, you know, I have a lot more experience. I know
for sure.
more like how to navigate life, and then I can instill those like values and stuff into them. But maybe I'm just yapping and I could do it right now if I wanted to. Maybe, yeah.
I think for me, bro, like I see marriage as something that's can be grown into. I didn't have this perspective until I spoke with Uthman about it.
Yeah.
And he was telling me like it's something you grow into, something that doesn't just like happen. It's perfect right away. And you probably noticed that with your family, my family as well. Like I've seen it with a ton of people. It's never perfect to start out. So I've shifted my mindset a little bit to be like, okay, maybe this could be something that I go into and it changes my life for the better. Because if I have somebody else that's now relying on me, it's going to make me work a million times harder.
Yeah, that's a good one.
You know? So if you don't have that behind you, I feel like you're kind of missing that extra push, that extra boost. And inshallah, like if I have a kid, bro, like I will never stop working until the day I die.
Yeah. That's cheat code.
Instant motivation, bro. Inshallah, bro. My grandmas, they all have them like they're like, yo, you want one here? I got you. I got you, bro.
Yeah. That's a good way of thinking. Honestly, yeah. I agree with you. It's just we'll see. If it happens, it happens. That's how I see it.
Inshallah, bro. Inshallah, prosperous marriage, prosperous family for both of us, bro.
For same to you, yeah.
Inshallah. So I think we have time for one more question. Got 52. So probably one more question to go into some more things. Let me see. I gotta pick a good one, bro. I wrote a few down here. Oh, has there ever been a moment in time that made you question if the path was worth it, and what made you keep going?
Yeah. I would tell myself, like, it happens like sometimes. I tell myself, like, would I be better off doing something else? Like, you know, maybe like going into a different route or a different industry or whatever. But then I keep telling myself, like, I have this huge advantage now, like the fact that I've already started, I'm already where I'm at. I have, you know, basically everything that I've built, you know, I can't just like let it go at this point. And what made me keep going, bro, is just like, it's just what I do now. Honestly, it just becomes like when you do it for like, it's been technically 3 years that I've been training. So I would say 3 years, but the content's been a year and a half. But when you do it like every single day for that long, and you're just a totally different person than what you were when you first started, it just becomes like part of who you are. Like I just work and that's what I do. So I wouldn't say like there's anything specific that I tell myself. Sometimes like I like to make a list of stuff that keeps me going, like, you know, my family, what I want to have in the future, you know, just remind myself my why basically. But I would say regardless if I have that why or not, I'll just who I am. I just work. That's what I do. Amazing. That's my purpose basically. Yeah.
Amazing.
How about you? You have that?
Yeah, I've had a specific moment in time, obviously. A specific moment in time.
Yeah.
With everything that's transpired over the last 2 years, bro, like I said, I was very close to quitting.
Yeah.
I really wanted it to be just over. And there's a specific conversation that I had with my mom that made me just completely switch gears. And it was
What
a few
was
months after Aboy passed, and I remember just coming to her and be like, Mama, because after he passed, bro, like we had an avalanche of stuff.
Yeah.
Just like we didn't know how much he was handling and dealing with. So I went to her and I was like, Mama, like, I really don't know if this is something I can live up to. And she hit me with the hardest line like ever. She was like, Allah put this into your hands and your hands only, because only you can deal with it. He knew only you could handle this amount of pressure. Only you can handle the things that have been put in front of you. So who are you to question what Allah has put in front of you, especially after all you've done?
Yeah.
You are nobody to question Allah. You are nobody to question what He's done for you in your life and the things that He's put in front of you.
Yeah.
So why even come to me with this question? This doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Go make some content.
Back to work.
And then from then there, bro, like just full steam ahead. Full
Yeah.
steam ahead. And that really made me remember everything that I'm doing this for.
That's amazing, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's good. Like I said, it's good to have people around you that, family. It's so important, bro. Like having people remind you, because you could be like in the wrong crowd and they would just take you out of what you're doing. That's amazing. I'll keep that in mind for when I feel
Allah
that.
put it in front of you because He knew you could handle it, bro.
Yeah.
And with everything you're doing, bro, there's nobody that could do it better than Hussein, because they're not Hussein.
Habibi.
They're not Hussein, bro. They
Appreciate
can't do what you're doing, bro. They're not you.
Same,
So,
bro. Yeah. I'll keep that in mind. Same to you, bro.
baby, I appreciate that. I think we're about to wrap up here, but go ahead and give them, talk to the people that are watching at home, give them a spiel, HTL subs, or give them everything, bro.
First off, thank you for having me a lot, bro. I really appreciate that, bro. But yeah, you can follow me, Hussein.fht on Instagram, YouTube. Fuck TikTok, I don't need it. But yeah, basically we have HTLT subs. There's also Momentous Apparel, which is coming really soon. It's my clothing brand I'm doing with Eric and Greg Doucette. It's going to be amazing. It's going to work. It's going to work. I have this vision. It's going to work. But yeah, basically you can check it out. It should be out maybe, I don't know when you're going to post this, but we should be releasing first drop around like mid-May.
Okay.
But yeah, I really enjoyed this. Thank you very much for having me,
I appreciate
bro.
you. Yo, everybody go check out my guy Hussein. Link is in the description for all his socials. Check out his current brand Gladiolas, and then Momentous coming soon. Whenever you guys are watching this, it may have dropped, it may have not, but just make sure to keep up with his socials. Thank you so much for coming on, Habibi. Well, it means the world to me.
Thank you,
As my first guest on my podcast, I don't have a name for this yet, so if you guys have any ideas for names, go ahead and drop them in the comment section. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for being a part, and I'll see you on the next podcast.